Hey YouTubers, it's Valerie with Money Mindset Coach, and today I want to talk about just some different things that I do from a frugal perspective and how I've changed in some of the ways that I do things because of my income changing and some really unbelievable buy that I got at the grocery store, and I couldn't believe it when I got it. So, first of all, I will start with the hairspray that I use. I used to get this at the hair salon. I think I was paying like $30 for a can of this stuff. And yeah, it was really great hairspray, but I'm not paying $30. Also, Kenra, put it over here. Yeah, Kenra. This is probably $17 a can. They're both about the same size. Now that I don't have my alimony anymore, I cannot spend that kind of money on hairspray anymore. So sometimes you have to reevaluate and think about what you want to do. So this is what I use now. Tresemme Freeze Hold. I get it at Family Dollar for $7. And look at the size of that can. This is a pretty big can. It's way bigger than these. This might be taller, but it's not the same. Not the same at all. And so I have switched to Tresemme, $7. It's just what you have to do. I went to the grocery store. I have bought this particular bacon 2 times. Couldn't believe it. One of my sons was coming, and he loves bacon and eggs and all that. And so I went and bought bacon. Well, this is not Oscar Mayer. You know, it's not one of the brand names, but it's really good. But it's uncured hardwood smoked bacon. And I don't know if I'd ever bought bacon before that was uncured, you know? So I looked into that, and uncured just means that there are synthetic nitrates that are not used in uncured bacon. Who knew? I never thought about it before. But the first time that I bought this bacon, I paid $2.17. Oscar Mayer bacon, and some of the other brands too, were $6, $7, $8 for a pound of bacon. I paid $2.17 the first time that I bought this kind. The last time, they'd lowered the price to $1.97. I've never paid $1.97 for bacon in my life. Now, I cook it. It doesn't have these really uniform pieces. It's kind of irregular looking. It's a little different. But I tell you what, it fries up just as good. Just as good. It is so good. Now, I always do my bacon crispy. And I think because it's uncured, you'd probably want to cook it to a crispy state, but that works for me because that's the way that I do it anyway. So anyway, that was fabulous bacon. And the last time I bought this one that I just showed you, $1.97. Can't beat that. The other thing that I do is, and I learned this a long time ago, and I don't think I've heard other frugal people talking about this, but it's so true. I buy the bar soap. This is Caress, which I really love the smell of it. I always have. When you take the bar soap out of the box that it comes in, and you just expose this to air, this gets harder. And then when you go to use it, it lasts longer. So that's a good thing. I basically, and then when this gets down to like the nubs, where there isn't much to it, I have a mesh bag that I just put what it gets down to and put it in that mesh bag. I have it in my shower. I will wet that and I can get suds out of that. And I use that too. So that uses up those little pieces, that just end up because of the bar soap. I buy bar soap because I don't like shower gel from the standpoint of the bottles. The box that this little thing comes in is paper. It's not plastic. And to me, that will break down and maybe disintegrate a whole lot easier than these plastic shower gel things. Yeah, I use the bar soap. That is my favorite. The other thing that I do, I actually ran out of regular business size envelopes, and I thought about it, and I thought, okay, this envelope I got when my mortgage came, and I pay my mortgage online. So why throw this envelope away? So I save these. And then when I pay my utility bill, which I actually go to City Hall and put it in a box, a drop box. And I had to have an envelope for that. And so I save my mortgage payment envelope and use it for my utilities. So that's a way of using that. And I haven't bought business envelopes because I haven't needed to. I don't really use them for anything. I do have some stationery and I will do it that way, but no, I don't do that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is I know that everybody was talking about the cost of living, the cost of food. And so I started looking at the food that I have and what I eat. And I did this for a day. So basically, this was back in April when I wrote this down. But, okay, for breakfast, I made pancakes. Well, I think a serving of pancakes is half a cup. So I used half a cup. I figured out with my money tracker, I knew how much I paid for this box of pancake mix. So I divided the number of servings by what I paid for it. And it turns out that this half cup that I was just adding water to, because that's all you have to add to it. That was 25 cents. The syrup that I used, a serving of that added up to 70 cents. So when you add this together, I could have pancakes and syrup for 95 cents. Well, you are not going to be able to go to IHOP, Denny's, any of these places and get pancakes and syrup for 95 cents. You're just not going to. Now, I make a smoothie every day, so I figured that out. And 1 cup of almond milk comes to 43 cents per serving, because it's a cup. 1 cup frozen fruit, that added up to 80 cents. And then I have protein powder that I use 4 tablespoons. That came to 55 cents for my 4 tablespoons with all the servings that comes with. So my smoothie basically cost me $1.78. It's not bad. Dinner, I didn't make a traditional dinner that night. I actually did eggs and an English muffin. And so my eggs, I used 3. They were 30 cents a piece is what they added up to. English muffin, basically with the 18 count that I got at Costco, that came to 48 cents for the English muffin. So basically, my dinner cost me $1.38. You know, this just goes to show that if you eat at home, you can eat relatively inexpensively. Now that is just one person. That's one smoothie. That is one serving of pancakes. If you are a couple, if you have a family, sure, this amount is going to be more, but it's still going to be a heck of a lot less than if you went into IHOP and ordered everybody pancakes and syrup, and then you add the coffee and everything else. That's the other thing. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but Dr. Phil talks about getting fired from his first job. And he got fired because he forgot to charge people for the beverages. And what he said is it turns out the beverages, that's where the restaurant makes the money. They make the money off of all of the beverages, the milk for the kids, the orange juice with breakfast, the coffee, all those things. If you get water, they're not liking that all that much. And I remember as a kid, I remember sitting there and water was just something that was brought to every table. Now it's like you have to ask for it. I don't even know when that started. That started a long time ago. But yeah, you have to ask to get water. They don't just give it to you anymore. So then maybe they're doing that in hopes that you'll forget about the water and you will fill up on something that actually costs money, because the water is still free. If you ask for it, you're not paying for it. But they could. And I think now, coffee, I think you'll get a refill, but maybe just one, where you used to just get constant refills. When I was a kid, that was normal. They just kept filling the coffee cup up. They don't do that anymore. They will fill it up once. They will refill it once, but they're not going to come back again. So they know. But anyway, beverages will cost you. They will cost you. It's better to just get water, And if I'm paying for it, that's what I do, unless I go to a Mexican restaurant and then I want the margarita. And that's especially where my goodness, they make a boatload of money on alcohol. That's huge. That is huge. So, these are just a few things that I was getting ready for work this morning, and I started looking around my house, and I kept thinking, there are some things that I have not talked about yet, of things that I personally do to save money. And yes, sometimes you need to do that. Like I have needed to do that because my income has changed. I don't have the money to buy the expensive hairspray anymore. I don't have that. Oh, the other thing that I was going to talk about, my ex-husband, he gives me, because I don't have alimony anymore, so I don't get that. But he usually for the last 9 years has given me $50 for Mother's Day. And I've really totally enjoyed taking that $50, and in my store, I get 30% off. So I can get to the $50 mark, but take 30% off of that. So I actually get a little more, which is really cool. But anyway, this year he gave me 100. So I'm really excited because I bought a couple things at the store. I bought a couple things, but I am looking around and seeing, are there some things that I have wanted? And there are a few things, but one thing that we have at the store, it was just too expensive. I just didn't want to spend this kind of money, but it's a really neat idea. It is all these different things like lavender, pumpkin. There's all different things that there's mint, basil, but what it is it's a soy candle, and it comes in a box, and the box has seeds in it, and you can plant the box and grow whatever it is. Well, this candle was $32. But I mean, you're getting the seeds, you're growing something, so you're getting more than just a candle. And the soy candle, it burns. It's a healthy candle. So I have been eyeing these for months, absolute months, because I love candles. Number one, I love something that does more than one thing, which this does. And I've just been eyeing it for the longest time. Well, I get 30% off. So instead of 32, I get $10 off of that. So, and then with this Mother's Day money, I thought, okay, I think I'm going to buy one of these candles. I'm finally going to do it. What else did I buy? Oh, I bought neat little things that you can actually, if you're reading a book, you can actually put it right where you left off, you know? So it's like keeping the space, not just a bookmark that marks the page you're on. This actually marks where on the page you are. And I've been looking at that for a long time too. And I thought, okay, I think I'll get that. I intend to get some flowers. Over the weekend, we were in Costco, and my boyfriend bought me a tomato plant. So I have a tomato plant out on my deck that I didn't spend any money for. He bought it for me. I think it was his kind of Mother's Day present to me, I think. So that was really nice. So anyway, I have a blueberry plant out there. I have a tomato plant. I want to plant some carrots, some cucumber, and now I'm going to have lavender that I'm going to be able to plant and do that. But yeah, I am enjoying the Mother's Day money. Now, I did have a wonderful Mother's Day. I went to church with my oldest son. We went to church. We went out to eat. We ate Mexican, which is my favorite food. I had a margarita. But we went out to dinner. We had a great time. And then we came back. And then that night, me and my boyfriend went to go see his mother, who is 90 years old. And she is a very, very special lady. I just absolutely love her. And so I really, really wanted to see her because I lost my mom 12 years ago. And so for the last 9 years, I've kind of had her, you know, and I love her very much. And I think she loves me too. So it was wonderful to see her, spend time with her. And then on Tuesday, yesterday, I met with my two other sons, and we went to a really neat sub sandwich shop and got wonderful, wonderful subs. I tell you, they're better than Subway, way better. And we got that and went to one of the state parks that's nearby, and we went for a hike. And we had our food, and we sat and we ate, and we had a wonderful, wonderful hike. Now, it wasn't a real long hike. It was, maybe 15 minutes. It wasn't going to be major. There's another trail that we could do that is like 2 miles. We didn't do that one. This was the first time we ever went to this state park. So we had a lot of fun. It was a wonderful, wonderful time with my 2 other sons. And we just had a great time. And so I hope all of you had a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. And another Mother's Day will be rolling around before we know it. Time goes by so fast. But anyway, that's all I have for now. But like I always say, well, if you want to hit like, I would love a comment. If you could tell me what you did on Mother's Day, what was your Mother's Day like? I would love to hear that. If you want to hit like, if you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would consider to do that. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So like I always say, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. Till next time. Bye.